notification go out. This is gonna be real quick, y'all. Okay, um, we just got to get on here and give y'all this quick message. You know, I can't control outside noises. Okay, welcome to my tent. Yes, and it's a little windier outside today, so I wanted to come on in here and get up here real quick and give y'all this message because God put it on my spirit. I said, what do I need to get up there? He said, well, they need to be reminded, when you get ready, you got to stay ready. And we're big about that. We've been talking about that a lot here lately because it's not just for y'all, but I got to be reminded sometimes too, because like God says, I need you to stay ready. He said, I'm getting you in position. He said, I need you to stay ready. Once you get ready, you got to stay ready. You got to understand that everything that God does, He's preparing us for the next level because that next level is here. Ooh, glory be to God. He said the next level is here. That's what God said. God said the next level is here. This is why I've been trying to tell you to get ready and stay ready. Don't forget what you've learned from previous circumstances just because of a new one. That's part of being ready and staying ready. Okay, he said, but I need you to get up here and talk about this. This next level is here. You got to catch this in the spirit. And see, this is why the monitoring spirits have been sent across our path, chosen ones. This is why they've been trying to stress out the autonomic nervous system, the ANS. This is why they're trying to keep you on edge. This is why they're trying to keep you distracted, because they know they can see it. The next level is here. That's what God said. He said, that's why. He said, that's why they get sending out those attacks. He said, that's why the devil's trying. He's stuck on repeat. He said, that's why the devil keeps trying the same stuff over and over again. It used to work in the past, but it don't work no more. But see, the devil can't see that because the devil can't see God prospering you on the inside. He can't see it. All right, he can't see that part. He don't want to see that part. Just like the narcissist, y'all got to remember something. When God awakens us and He starts transforming us, and we start becoming a better version of ourselves, we start putting away childish things. We start becoming, ooh, yeah, we start shining that light. We start becoming the best version that God intended for us to become. Then that's it. All they can do is watch, right? Okay, but He's gonna send the monitoring spirits across our path to try the same things over and over again, and we can see right through it. We've gotten around that resistance, that solution that's been in the arsenal of solution. We're gonna bring it back. I heard the Lord say, bring it back. He said, you got to do that again. That's part of staying ready. That's how you do it. Don't forget the solution because the monitoring spirit, these narcissists, they're going to try the same stuff over and over again because it used to work in the past. But here's the other thing. We got to learn that part of the next level that's here is we learn how to cut off access to ourselves, right? If the devil has access to us, okay, and we didn't know that, and we got to find a solution. See, there's that solution. We got to find the solution. We cut off access, okay? For example, I figured out how to lock this tent. That's right. So I keep the devil at bay, so they can't try to come on in here and sabotage it. Okay, so yeah, they try to stress out the autonomic nervous system. See, I'm telling y'all, we see this stuff, and so when they pull these little shenanigans, it's stuck on repeat because it happened at 2 other campsites. And I said, okay, so this is not a coincidence. This is nothing new. I see what they're trying to do. I said, but it's not gonna work because if we continue to, that's right, if we continue to, prosper on the inside, okay, and continue with strength training and muscle building and repairing and recovery, yeah, see, the devil and man can't stop God. Once we get on that path and we keep on keeping on, then nothing can stop God. And so He wanted me to get on here and tell y'all, He was like, yeah, He said the next level is here. This is why the attacks have been increasing a little bit. This is why they're trying the same old over and over again. This is why when you speak, okay, out here, and it's a narcissist that hears you, and you say something a certain way, they're going to take it the wrong way. They're going to misinterpret it. Okay, let me give y'all a real world example here. There's a narcissist who was talking about how you're feeding the cats and stuff. And so, usually there's a couple of kittens that come around. And, cute as all get out. Y'all know that, right? Okay, so they come around, all right, usually in the evening, because that's when I have a little something for them. But well, I mean, I can have a little something for them all day long, but we ain't doing that. Okay, we got discipline, and then also I want the kitten to understand abundance. Okay, if we can get them to understand that, because we got the abundance mindset, right? But so I was telling, and so it's like this narcissist talking to me about the cats. But I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's test the spirit by the spirit. I already knew he was a narcissist, but as far as being a Jezebel, I had to get that confirmation, and I did. It didn't take long. Anyway, so that being said, all right, so he was talking about how he feeds them too, in another part of the campground. He feeds them too. Oh, okay, that's nice. I said, I know I'm not the only one that does that. I said, they get food. You can tell they ain't starving, and they're definitely not wild. They're domesticated. I was like, they belong to somebody. And so I was like, they get fed. And so what I'm giving them is just a little snack. I don't give them a whole lot, right? I mean, they're not little bitty kittens, y'all. They're growing. Okay, they're still young. They're still considered kitten, but they're big enough, okay, to be able to hunt and things like that on their own. And so anyway, so he said that, and I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine and nice. And usually, I've been here long enough that usually they don't come around early in the mornings or mid-morning. Usually they don't. And I'm cooking my brunch or my breakfast or whatever. Typically they don't hang out, okay? And I realized because there's other people that feed them. Well, I had made the comment that the bag of food that I got, I said I'm only giving them like a half a cup because we have raccoons and things like that, and between the two of them, that's all they'll eat is a little half a cup. Okay, seriously, that's more than enough for them. They don't even finish all of that. Sometimes there's a few pieces left, and so because when I was giving them a full cup, yeah, the coons and skunk, yeah, they were coming to get them. And I said, okay, no, because those are wild animals. But anyway, so the kittens, I said, well, they only need a half a cup then because that's all that they'll eat. And so they know when to stop eating and then make sure they have a little bit of water. But anyhow, when he was talking about that, and I said, yeah, I said, well, I want that bag. I need that bag to last for a little while. The abundance. Right? I said, trying to teach the kittens that. Well, a narcissist misinterprets that. I can go get another bag of food anytime. I ain't hurting for nothing. Jesus is our Savior and Lord and Shepherd, right? Okay, so we ain't hurt for nothing. But see, because a narcissist misinterprets that, so they deliberately did not feed the cat this morning, causing me to get, because I realized, I said, now I'm getting a little bit concerned that they didn't get anything to eat this morning. That's not like them to be acting like that. So I went ahead and I gave them a half a cup in the morning. I said, yeah, let me go ahead and give them something for the day, because I said that they don't usually act like that. I mean, they're not usually mischievous that way. Jumping up on the car, and I was like, what is going on? I said, something's up. And so I know what today is at the time of this recording, but listen, I'm not the only one, but we don't celebrate that, okay? This is a satanic ritual, satanic witchcraft holiday. We do not participate in it anymore once we learn the truth about it. Anyhow, so those cats were doing that. So I went ahead, I was like, I see what that narcissist did. It's trying to, like, the devil misinterpreting what I said on purpose, as if like I don't have enough to go get more cat food. I got plenty. I'm like, whatever, dude. Anyway, but narcissists do that. They will misinterpret, okay, what you say. Because they've got the demon of assumption. Okay, so they will misinterpret what you say. And I want to thank y'all who do come on in and give this video a thumbs up. Those of you who do not give the video a thumbs up, we know who you are. Monitoring spirits. Oh, by the way, yes, I saw them. Finally. Those bruises that were, oh, yeah. I finally saw them. And they're going away. So, yeah, it may have taken a little while. But we finally did. We finally saw them. And so once we see it, and the ANS kicks into gear, once we see that there's a little, our ANS wakes back up and gets to work there. So it's like, okay, all right, once we see it, how the autonomic nervous system has to make the connection, right? Because the ANS is responsible for a lot of biological healing. Oh, yeah, digestion and all of that. And I also know that where there was bruising, there were air pockets. And we've been getting rid of a lot of those. Glory be to God. All right, and we continue to do so. So, for any monitoring spirits who are wondering how we're doing just fine. Thank you, and glory be to God. So, yes, we are absolutely fine. And, no, there's no pain and suffering. I'm going to tell y'all, it's funny because it's like I see the residual coloring from where the bruises was, but there's no pain there. And now I know what was getting zapped every time I was going into the stores or the restaurants. I was like, oh, that's why I kept feeling the heat. It was heating up there. I could feel it. I could feel it heating up. And I was like, oh, now I know why. Because I was like, okay. I knew about the salt water being trapped there. I said, well, now I know why the salt water was getting trapped there. Air pocket with the salt molecule inside, drawing it acting as a magnet for more salt. And there you go. Okay, in the air pocket, when it gets heated up, it expands and boom, oh, there's the discomfort. And when it cools down, excuse me, when it cools down, there you go. Now, back to God talking about the next level is here. Okay, y'all, because it is. And that right there illustrates the next level from yours truly, is that God revealed that to me. Okay, he revealed that to me, and I was like, glory be to God. So now we know what to do. Okay, now we know what to do, and we just keep going forward, though. We got to keep it moving. That's another thing. All right, when you get ready and stay ready, because the next level is here, and God says, okay, this is your next level of awareness. Also, never forget that, too. The next level is not necessarily maybe a goal or something yet. It could also just be the level of awareness, because that's really what it's all about, is becoming more aware of all of these things that are happening, everything. Okay, becoming more aware of what God is trying to teach us, becoming more aware of what the devil is up to out here, because never forget, God always knows what the devil's up to, because God is omnipresent. God sees all. God knows what the devil's up to. So this is what I've learned to do. All right, let me give this to y'all. All right, whenever, okay, I know how God prepares us for stuff. Right? So y'all learning too. A lot of y'all already know when God prepares you for stuff. Right? He gets you ready, and then you learn to stay ready. Okay? The solution that you find to an issue, do not forget that solution, because the devil has no new tricks. You're going to have to use that again. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh man. Because the devil, like narcissists, are stuck on repeat. The system of narcissism out here, it's stuck on repeat. It's just the same old, same old, same old, same old over and over again. So, all right, we got to retain all solutions. Everything that we learn to get around the resistance, we're going to have to use more in the future, more going forward, okay? Anytime the devil tries that same thing again. So you got to be ready, stay ready, all right? Don't forget the solution. And when you do that, you also become more aware of that, because God tells us what the devil's up to by showing us what he's preparing us for. Think about that for a moment. I said, oh my goodness. Because there's certain things that God will have us get. I was like, I don't know why he had me get that at that time until it's time to use it. And then I'm like, oh, for example, the cool down of the weather. Okay, the cool down of the weather. There was, I wanted to get spinach juice. I want to start making our superfood with fresh spinach. Okay, I didn't want to do more. No more canned spinach. I'm done with that. But really, that's our goal now as part of our movement, combating radio frequencies for healthier living. It's right, trying to get away from eating foods out of the can as much as possible. And so I want fresh spinach. So I'm gonna steam it, and then I want to grind it up in that blender, and I want some pure straight up spinach juice. But I had to finish my carrot juice that I made first. I cooked up some baby carrots, all natural, 100%. That's it. Healthier eating as part of healthier living. So I said, all right, I had my carrot juice. And so I was like, the next juice I want to make is spinach juice. And that was about 2 to 3 days prior to it starting to cool down. And I said, oh my goodness, because with the temperature cooling down outside, we tap into that. Okay, and so now we're getting that spinach full of vitamin K. Vitamin K is really great for coagulation, right? Yes, and so it helps bruises heal. Huh? Go figure. And so I said we want to get that in our system, and we've been eating spinach anyway. Spinach is muscle food. And so as we are rebuilding and recovering, we are also feeding our muscles all the nutrients, plus the other vitamins and minerals you find in spinach. Your leafy greens, okay, are great, okay, sources of vitamin K and E and C, I believe, as well. So, yeah, look it up. It's not a secret, okay? And so for healthier eating, and it was just in time. God had me yesterday, just yesterday, the first official day of when it got like, well, I want to say it was more like 20 to 25 degrees in the morning when I got up. And I said, oh, that's pretty cold. But anyway, I was like, okay, but that's cool. But we're going to tap into that. And so I was like, okay. And I usually just get 1 bag of spinach. He said, no. He said, you still eating your spinach omelets and stuff like that? He said, get 2 bags. I said, what? He said, get 2 bags. I said, get 2 bags of spinach. He said, yes, get 2 bags of spinach. I said, I'm going to get 2 bags of spinach. I'll put 2 bags of spinach in my cart. And I'm almost all the way through 1 bag by cooking it up on the second day, making spinach juice. See, God did that. God had us he got us prepared yesterday. He said, all right, now you're going to get in position with it. You got to produce, meaning make it. I got to make that spinach juice. I got to get it in my system. He said, all right, now. He said, I want you to walk. He said, I want you to walk it. Circulate. I get that vitamin K. Get all that good stuff into circulation, because when it's cooler outside, circulation's a lot better. Because when your body's too hot, circulation slows down. It's a no-brainer. All right? God said the next level is here. So y'all got to keep it moving. Keep on keeping on. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. And share this video with fellow warriors so they understand, too, that that next level is here. And it's all about the awareness, amongst other things, in our lives as he continues to prosper us on the inside, because the devil can't see that. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, we'll show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you in Jesus' name. Amen.